This seriously excites me. Look at that, 100% battery power. Bam. Day 51. I just moved the bus because we were going to clean underneath here. So that was kind of fun to use the backup camera for the first time. Woot woot. We're just sweeping this. Mom needs to pop out the RV because some guests are coming, so we have to move the bus over. But anyways, it's good to start the bus and actually make it roll a little bit. So I've got the frame in there and it's looking rad. Like, it totally covers up all the seams. The stain looks really good. Super happy with how it turned out. So I've just got the braces in there to kind of try to shape it a little bit before I put some screws in. And I'm gonna put screws in same style and they'll be visible, these old brass, antique brass screws. Awesome. All right, so this is an example of how the switch is gonna look. Pretty cool. They're just these little pop-up panels. They're really, they really go with the style. Love it. Just inserting the solar panel wires into the bus. So I'm using this entry port. It seals it from the rain. I'll put some butyl putty around there and I'm gonna put it probably right around here. So gotta drill a couple more holes into the bus, but at this point I'm used to making holes in the bus and everything's been okay, so. So this is the kind of shit that pisses me off, but this cable here to this panel, I have a three-way splitter so that I can feed into the fan, the bus. This positive and this positive can't reach each other to plug into the splitter. So that means I have to buy another cord to extend the splitter into another splitter. Like, it's ridiculous. When you do product testing, you would think that you would put your panels side by side and give the consumer enough cord. Okay, I've got the panels hooked up, the battery hooked up, the control charger hooked up, our shutoff hooked up, all the fuses in and the fuse box hooked up, and the wires have just started kind of cleaning them up and organizing everything. Battery is ultimately going to be here in a compartment inside the kitchen. Yeah, so, and everything's working. Awesome. So good news, I've got this. It's the accumulator. For those who don't know what it is, it's basically like a diaphragm that goes into the water system and it keeps the water from pulsing and it just gives it a better flow. So I have to install it. I've left a gap for it here, but I've actually decided I'm gonna unhook the filter and move the filter over here and put the accumulator first so that it gets filtered after it goes through the accumulator, because I've read some reviews that the accumulator actually causes a bit of a rubbery flavor, so we don't want that. So I'm gonna redo this section here. So very exciting. I am filling the water tank, or at least adding water into it to test the water system now that we got the accumulator installed. The water is flowing in there. I'm just kind of watching for leaks on the water intake here. And then I have to check for leaks on everything once I turn on the pumps and get it going. That works. Okay, turning the pump on. You can hear it going through the system. So it should pressurize everything. I've closed all the valves. There, and it shut off. Okay, this is the first faucet attempt. Look at that. Water's flowing. How exciting. We did it. Cool. Alright, a small leak here, no big deal. That's just because the Teflon tape, I forgot to tape it, and that was residual Teflon tape. So once I depressurize everything, I can fix that. Okay, there's a lot of pressure. I should have held onto the hose. I'm like, looks like I peed myself. Oops. Well, everything works for the most part. There's a couple of small leaks, but those are where fittings went on, so not part of the main plumbing system, so that's good. Super easy fixes. But yeah, that pump actually has a ton of pressure, way more than I thought. This seriously excites me. Look at that, 100% battery power. Bam. So electrical panel's done. The only thing that I'm gonna add to this is right here is a DC to DC charger, and that basically runs off of the battery of the car when we're driving. It basically uses the alternator to charge. End of day update. We got a lot of little things done today, so the clips were kind of boring, so it was just assembly of wiring and whatnot, but things are looking really good. Robert's getting all the paneling done while I've been doing the wiring. We got the plumbing finished. I'll just give you a quick tour of everything, but we're pretty stoked at the progress. So here's kind of the cabin area, the main cabin. The great room as we're calling it, but it's looking pretty great. Those again are the undermount lights. This just looks so good. I'm super happy with how that turned out. Just finishes it off nicely, and then all of these seams will be finished with a very similar wood, kind of like a coffered ceiling. Super cute light switches, totally dig them. Back here, Robert got a ton of paneling done, so that's looking good. Wallpaper can go up soon. He got in the bathroom here, the paneling. We did paneling on the back. I think that's kind of it. And a bunch of course paneling underneath the bed here. But overall, looking like a tiny house. Loving it. Good night, everybody.